Hey everyone, my name's Patrick, and I wanted to do a collective reading for everyone today. But these matches, that match striker doesn't work. Maybe these matches aren't gonna work. We'll try again. Hey. So yeah, I'm following my excitement. Yesterday I recorded one of these and I enjoyed it, and I wanted to do it again. So I feel called again to make sure this is still in frame. I feel called again to work with the Guardian of the Night Tarot. And the first card that I saw was Ten of Swords. We're gonna put that down. I'm just gonna shuffle the deck and we'll see what we get. So there's many ways to read tarot, but the way that I like to is whatever falls out of the deck is what I'll take. I typically don't look at or think about the cards until I've got enough. I feel like I want one more card, even though I've got 3 right now. So I'm setting the intention that this will be helpful for whoever needs to hear it. But as with all readings, you should take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If something resonates with you, if one part of the message feels like it makes sense and resonates and you feel excited about that, then that's for you. And if the next sentence doesn't match, that's also okay. That means it's not for you. So we got them in the following order with 2 cards buried underneath. So we'll see what that indicates. But I'm feeling like I want to keep those hidden. So the first card is as I mentioned, the Ten of Swords. Might be a little dark in here with that, but I'll put them on screen. The next card is Justice, which is a bat carrying a sword. And then behind that is the High Priestess, same bat. That's a pretty cool pair to come together. I'll get into the interpretations in a second. The next one is the Chariot, which is a very good victory card. I don't know why it is a skunk in this one. And the Three of Wands is the final card. So 3 of Wands behind the Chariot. That one's still feeling to me like a positive card. I feel not inclined to interpret much in this immediately from the visualization. Typically when I read the tarot cards, if it's like the traditional deck, then I will use traditional interpretations. Obviously guided by my intuition. But with these ones with like updated or interesting, unique art, I tend to go more with, still guided by intuition about what I should, think or say about things, but I tend to go more with what's on the actual card. So Ten of Swords comes up. So for those who this resonates with, this feels like an ending of, there's a few things coming up with this. Feels like an ending of the past, and so there might be some temptation to like mourn what's going on there, but also there's a feeling of moving on. So some of you might be kind of stuck in this phase of mourning the past, mourning what was lost, but some of you are definitely moving on. But regardless, for both of you, both of the groups, something is over and you are moving past it. You're free to do whatever you want, but for those of you who are mourning the past, I would say that you should move on. Respectfully and with love, I think you should move on. That's just my personal take. That's not something I'm getting. So here, it's interesting. It's an extremely fat bird, like begging for food. It's like a what feels like here is that this thing that you've put to bed, or this thing that has ended, it really ran its course, and now you're like more than ready. You're very well nourished. You're more than ready to move on to the next, to this next step in your life. Yeah, it feels like there was a long delay in letting go of this, in moving on, in becoming the new person who you are, and so things have kind of like backed up a little bit. You're sort of, I don't want to say bloated, but sort of bloated. There's a golden bird that comes with this, and this feels like sort of guides and guardians and people around you who are sort of pushing you on towards more things and a brighter future. And I'm also noticing now the fireflies in the foreground here, or in the bottom, that are like, it's a celebration of the fact that you are finally moving on from this thing. And then there's also some broken, cracked eggs down here in the bottom that shows kind of like you can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. And present in the background here is a blood moon, which is like a partial lunar eclipse. And this is feeling also like divinely, this whole situation is divinely guided. There's sort of, you're making steps in a direction that is positive and in accordance with your higher self and who you are meant to be. So definitely should not take anything sorrowful from the end, whatever ending you're going through. These are definitely positive steps forward, but I'm sensing for some of you it's a clean break, where it's like you're becoming this new person that is, could be pretty different from who you were before. And for some of you, that's like an upsetting thing, where it's like you're clinging on to the past, and you're being told a bit more, like suggested gently, to let go of that and let things move on. Justice. Justice feels like an interesting one. There's a couple things coming on here. So there's definitely a portion of the collective that I want to give a message to now. This feels kind of separate, although it might have overlap with the same people, but this might be a message that's more broadly applicable. One of the things that I've been feeling recently, we've been having a lot of crazy weather here in New England, where I'm from, and it feels driven by the collective. Like, it is a reflection of the storms that are driving through our collective consciousness, the things that we're undergoing in these times of change. So the first thing that I want to say is that we are moving towards something much more positive. And the reason that things feel so negative right now is because it's designed to sort of wake us up towards, like, this is definitely not how we want to live. Like, we don't want to see these things falling apart all around us. We want, it's sort of like the Tower card is kind of what I'm envisioning with this. Like, everything is falling apart, but out of that falling apart, there's a chance to rebuild in a positive direction. And so justice to me comes up with that kind of flavor to it, on the one layer. So there's a multi-layered reading, multi-layered card. So one thing, this is interesting and might be applicable to only some of you. One thing about this bat is that the justice is coming at night because it's a bat, and the bat is bringing the sword of justice. And this is a very particular reading, or very particular message for people who it's applicable for. So if this is not applicable, again, don't worry about it. There's a feeling of working at night and understanding, like, the power of the nighttime. And I mean working, like, loosely. It's like doing the things that excite you during the night, like positive things, not like, if I could talk to a previous version of myself, not like staying up till 5 a.m. playing video games kind of magic of the night, but like everything's calm and focused, and you're driven to you're just focused on the task at hand, and that focus also comes up with this sword. So one of the things that I'm getting with this message that is for the people who've been working at night is that it is okay to work at night. Like, don't worry about what society might say about that. If you're finding that you are productive at night, then be productive at night, and don't let anyone else's thoughts affect you or bother you, because you alone know what kind of things you can achieve at night. So after the justice, I'll get to the other portions of this, but this is one subset of messages that's coming up. After the justice, which is like working at night, productivity at night, I see like a furious production. So like lots of things being created and made by you, lots of focus and lots of drive in like an exciting way, not in a way that'll burn you out. But after that comes the rest. And the rest here feels a couple layers. First of all, I'm noticing the red color theme on this Justice card, balanced by the blue color theme on this Justice card. And in this one, the red one, the bat is very active, and in this one, the bat is resting. And they feel complementary. So in one sense, it's like, yes, use the night to be productive, but also rest when you need to. So yeah, this message is becoming more clear now. When you are working on your excitement, on your passions, be it at night or not at night, this might be a more general message to everybody. When you're working on the things that you're excited about, don't push through the portions where you're like, I just need to get this done. Like, I'm losing my steam on this project. I don't feel like working on it anymore, but I'm just going to push through and finish it. What this message is saying is don't do that. Actually take the time to rest and trust not just in your excitement for working on a project, also trust in your quote-unquote excitement to rest. Because when your body's telling you, like, I'm losing my interest in this right now, that's completely valid. That is like the direction that your excitement is taking you in next. So don't just listen to it in the direction of like, I want to be productive. Also listen to it in the direction of, I want to sleep. Rest, recover. And also resting is productive because you get lots of insights and knowledge and new ideas when you rest. And so really, I want you to think of that, or I call you to try to think of that in terms of like, resting is actually productive because it assists you. It's a complementary component of the work. So that's a specific individual message that has to do with justice. With the Justice card and the High Priestess. Justice still also, coming back to my first message, feels like... so what I want to be talking about now, be making you aware of, is that for anyone who is bothered by all of the things that are going on in the world right now, what I want to say is, what this card wants me to bring up is that we should be envisioning how we want the world to actually work and moving towards that. One of the things, like using our creativity, investigating ways that we can move forward towards an ideal future. One of the things, and in particular, like with particular emphasis on creativity, because it's like we grow up and we learn that certain things are just the way that stuff works. It's just how everything works. And that is not necessarily the case in the future where, you know, spiritual enlightenment has reached more people. We don't have to operate in the ways that we used to, and old solutions may not be applicable anymore. Even things that worked in the past pretty well, or not so well, but well enough, things will be moving differently there. And that leads me right into the Chariot, which yes is a victory card, and I'll get to that. But this is a playful portion of the message where there's like a stinkiness to the things that are going on right now. Like what I was saying with the Justice card, there's like a stinkiness to it. But that is a playful joke. It's not the thing that I'm getting off of this is that the skunk is a lot more regal than just the smell, but it can bring that that humor to it. One of the things that I'm drawn to here is the Chariot, in a sense, being a leader for the chickens, and this is interesting. It's like this still comes into Justice and still ties into that last message I was talking about with like envisioning the future that we actually want to live in and inhabit, and removing the borders of what we think is possible and just envisioning like what is the best case scenario, like where everybody is equal as a human, as a not just even everybody, like the earth is an equal, animals are equals. Everyone is a valid expression of all that is. And interesting. So the thing that's coming up now is that, okay, yeah, a couple different ways I could go here. One is that you might actually be a leader. I'm feeling, this is another playful joke, you might be the skunk, the leader of the chickens. Not that anything you're doing is particularly smelly, but I've just, for some reason, I'm feeling that the skunk here is a leader of the chickens. My camera shut off there for a second. I'm going to cut to the chase with this. Whoever this reading is for, you are a leader of the chickens, of the people, and in particular related to that last message of building the future that you envision. Like, step up, and you're being called to step up and lead in that way. And obviously you have free will, and it's your own decision. So my phrasing was a little extreme. I hope you forgive that. But the Three of Wands is like I'm feeling this bird here is also a leader, bringing in the things that are needed for other people. So there may be an emphasis. Leadership might not necessarily be something specific like you're teaching a class or you're like leading people in some sort of event. It could just be that you become the first person to step up and help a neighbor. Like, one of the ways that we build a better society and a more integrated and connected, loving society is for sure just community. Like, getting to know the people around you, and not even getting to know them because you want to be friends, just like what I want to say instead is like helping your neighbor out. Just if you see someone who needs something, like hold the door for them or whatever. Like that leadership, those acts of kindness matter, and you being a leader in that way matters a lot more than you understand. So yeah, Chariot does feel, I'm not really resonating with the idea of Chariot being such a positive card. I mean, it is a very positive card, but I'm not resonating with the idea of that in this reading necessarily. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.